entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 247. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Some TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Some TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient and affordable 247 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State.
Welcome to the broadcast of News Hour on Some TV, the pulse of the nation. You can follow us on Facebook at Some TV and on YouTube at Some TV Live. Now the major headlines. Nigerian engineer develops CLEB M543 weather control technology to combat climate change. Abuja High Court summons Senate President Akpabio and Senator Nweboyin over defamation and harassment lawsuit. Osun Governor Ademola Adeleke denies plans to defect to APC following visit to President Tinubu as Saudi Arabia bans political flags and chanting during Hajj imposes strict penalties for permit violations. I am Esther Oka-Steven. Now the news in full. Anieti Ikot, an engineer and CEO of Enrich Nigeria Limited in Akwa Ibom State, has developed a new weather control technology, Caleb M543, aimed at combating climate change. Speaking in Uyo, Iket described the device as capable of mitigating natural disaster as earthquake and tornadoes by neutralizing harmful atmospheric elements and pressure imbalance. Currently undergoing a 21-day trial in the state, the technology is said to eliminate toxic atmospheric gases and prevent extreme weather events without emitting pollutants. ICOT warned that failure to adopt such innovations could threaten humans' survival within decades, asserting that Caleb M543 is a sustainable and effective solution to climate-related changes. The Danish Embassy in Nigeria, in collaboration with Academic Associate Peace Work, AAPW, has initiated a 2-year project aimed at helping coastal communities in the Niger Delta adapt to climate change. The project will focus on promoting green and blue economy practices, enhance environmental conservation, and improving livelihoods in 4 communities in Bayelsa and Delta State. Key aspects include training 240 local farmers and fisher folks on climate-smart agriculture, renewable energy, biodiversity, and sustainable fisheries. 16 cooperatives have been formed to support economic and environmental goals, equipped with demonstrations farm, mentorship, and business development support. The initiative also emphasized community-led solution, policy engagement, and ecosystem restoration to create long-term resilience against the effects of climate change. 2 high courts in Abuja have summoned Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Deputy Chief Whip Senator Onyekachi Nwebunyi following lawsuit filed by suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Udengen. She accuses both lawmakers of defamation, sexual harassment, and violating her rights. In one suit, Justice Abubakar Kintigi granted permission to serve Akpabio and his legislative aide, Mfon Patrick, while another court, presided over by Justice A.O. Otuluka, approved substitute service on Nwebunyi's Akpoti-Udengen seeks 5 billion naira in damages from Nwebunyi over derogatory remarks made during a televised interview, and is also demanding 100 billion naira in damages and 300 million naira in litigation costs over alleged harassment and defamation by Akpabio and his aide. The senator claimed the defamatory statements were intended to justify her suspension and damage her reputation. Court hearing are scheduled for June 9 and 25th. Governor Ademola Adeleke spokesperson Olawale Rasheed has dismissed speculations that the governor's recent visits to President Bola Tinubu signals plans defection to the APC. He clarified that the visit by Adeleke, his brother Deji Adeleke, and nephew Davido was merely a routine courtesy call. Meanwhile, the Osun APC, through former House Speaker Timothy Owoye, insisted that its 2026 governorship ticket is not available for outsider and reaffirmed that Adeleke remains a PDP member, asserting there is no place for him in APC. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Interior has banned the waving of political and sectorial flags, as well as chanting during Hajj rites in Makkah. According to an advisory release ahead of the pilgrims, the ministry also imposed fines of up to 200 riyals of performing Hajj without a permit, and penalties reaching 100,000 riyals plus a 10-year ban for these assisting unpermitted pilgrims over overstaying visas. Illegal pilgrims and visa outstays will face deportation and a decades-long entry ban. Contrary to earlier reports, there is one ban on the use of cameras or phones, though pilgrims are advised to avoid distractions from the spiritual focus. Officials stress that using scared sites for protest or demonstration will attract sanctions, including fines applied to the pilgrims' countries of origin. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) has stated that the 2027 election will serve as a refund on what is described as the failure of the All Progressive Congress-led federal government. PDP National Publicity Secretary Dabo Ologundagbe accused the APC of worsening insecurity, economic hardship, and undermining democracy. He questioned the use of a $24.5 billion loan meant to ease subsidy removal impact and criticized the National Assembly for failing to check executive accesses. Olugundagbe reaffirmed the PDP's internal unity and readiness for 2027, insisting that Nigerians must reject any drift towards a one-party state. Professor Jibril Mohammed Aminu, former Nigerian ambassador to the United States and senator for Adamawa Central, has passed away. Born in August 1939, Aminu was a distinguished cardiologist, academic, and politician. He served as Nigeria's Minister of Education and Petroleum, led OPEC and its president in the early 90s, and represented Adamawa Central in the Senate from 2003 to 2011. Aminu also held key academic positions, including Vice Chancellor of the University of Maiduguri. He was a respected figure in machine, politics, and diplomacy. Pastor Tunde Bakare, founder of the Citadel Global Community Church, paid a courtesy visit to President Bola Tinubu in Lagos, with discussion reportedly focused on national issues. The visit follows Bakare's recent public criticism of the administration, urging Tinubu to adopt a more humble and strategic approach to governance. In an April address, Bakare warned against authoritarian and emphasized the need for leadership reform, stating his remarks were intended as guardians rather than condemnation. The Federal High Court has announced the death of its former Chief Judge, Justice Daniel Abutu, who passed away on 3rd June after a brief illness. Born on 15th March 1946, and originally from Kogi State, Justice Abutu was praised for his dedication to justice and administrative excellence. In a statement signed by Chief Registrar Suleiman Amida Hassan, the court expressed condolences to his families and the legal community, noting that further details will be provided in due course. Indigenous residents of the Federal Capital Territory have firmly rejected the FCTA's relocations policy, describing it as a violation of their rights and a threat to their identity. Speaking at the House of Representatives public hearing, committee leaders, traditional rulers, and civil society groups demanded an end to displacement and called for full integration into Abuja's development. Lawmakers acknowledge long-standing grievances with calls for constitutional reforms and the creation of a commission for indigenous people. The FCDA requested additional time to present its position, which the committee granted. The Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Al-Hausa, has emphasized the importance of entrepreneurship in Nigeria's development, urging tertiary institutions to focus on producing job creation rather than job seekers. Speaking through Lagos State Commissioner for Tertiary Education, Mr. Talani Sule at the inauguration of the 350 million Olufemi Akinla Entrepreneurship Center at Alabisi on Nabanjo University, Alausa praised the private sector rules in youth empowerment. Donor Olufemi Akinla also pledged an additional 170 million naira to support the center and fund students' venture. The event featured calls for mandatory entrepreneurial education and was attended by several dignitaries. Similarly, Dr. Vincent Paul, a senior lecturer of Nasarawa State University, has urged unemployed graduates to acquire skills to combat rising unemployment. Speaking at the inauguration of the university's Alumni National Executive Council and Trust Fund in Lafia, Paul emphasized self-resilience through entrepreneurship rather than waiting for secure white-collar job. He also called on political leaders to support youth with regular skills acquisition programs. He encouraged the new Aluminium executive to use the trust fund for sustainable projects and financial empowerment. The new Alumni president, Nuhu Agia, pledged to advance the association's goal. The Lagos State Police Command has deployed tactical and conventional team across the state to ensure public safety during the Eid-el-Kabir celebration. Commissioner of Police Oluwadare Jimo ordered the presence of personnel from the Rapid Response Squad, a Coast Force, and other specialized units to strategic locations to prevent crime and maintain order. Security will be intensified at Eid ground, mosque, recreation centers, and major gathering spots. Officers have been directed to act professionally while respecting citizens' rights. The public is urged to cooperate with security personnel and report any suspicious activities. The Jigawa State Emergency Management Agency has announced ongoing preparation to tackle expected flooding during the 2025 rainy season. Executive Secretary Anafi Yakubu, speaking in Dutse, confirmed that relief materials have been raided and urged residents to support prevention efforts by avoiding waste dumping and building on waterways. The warning follows the Nigerian Meteorological Agency alert predicting heavy rainfall between April and November. Yakubu stressed the importance of community cooperation, emphasizing that unblocked drainages and proper water channels are essential to minimizing the risk. Officials from NITMET and other stakeholders echoed these concerns during a meeting aimed at coordinating statewide flood response efforts. The traditional ruler and Idiagre Kingdom in Delta State, King Ogbukowo Monday Whiskey, has alleged a plot by oil bunkers to disrupt the operation of Taita Security Service and review pipeline vandalism in the Niger Delta. In a statement issued in Warri, he urged President Bola Tinubu to resist pressure from a twisted campaign aimed at discrediting Titan's leaders, government Akpamulu Tampolo, and Presidential Amnesty Program Coordinator Dr. Dennis Oturo. Chief Whiskey, who chaired the host communities, traditional rulers, and elder advisory councils, warned that a smear campaign were intended to undermine the federal government's efforts against oil theft. He commended Titan's roles in environmental restoration and called on stakeholders to support ongoing security and amnesty reforms rather than yielding to blackmail. Cross River State is working to boost its non-oil exports to diversify its economy and increase foreign exchange. A recent workshop trained local farmers and entrepreneurs on export skills, focusing on products like bitter cola, plantain, and palm oil. The initiative includes support for women-led businesses and aim to make the state good competitive globally. A former Bayelsa State House of Assembly members, Honorable Wilson Dawiegwa, has praised Minister of Petroleum Resources, Senator Henekin, for his crucial support during Dawiegwa's election to the 6th Assembly. Dawiegwa acknowledged Lakpobiri's significant financial contribution, which he said was key to his victory. Addressing rumor of betrayal during the 2019 Bayelsa governorship election, Dawiegwa defended his loyalty to Lakpobiri, highlighting his support for the minister's preferred indirect primaries over the party's direct primaries choice. He also criticized what he called double stand, noting Lakpobiri's own political shifts over the years and insists his action should not be labeled as betrayal. The Kano State Police Command has reaffirmed its ban on all Durban activities during the 2025 Eid al-Kabir celebration, citing security threats and intelligence reports of potential disruption. The bans include horse riding, car racing, reckless driving, and a public display of firearms or dangerous objects. These discussions aims to prevent unrest amid tension surrounding the ongoing emirship dispute between Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II and the dispersed Emir Alhaji Ado Bayero. The policy urged residents to celebrate peacefully and remain vigilant, warning against action that could disrupt public orders. The ban initially imposed during Eid al-Fitr remains due to President security concerns, including emptied by miscreants to exploit the festival to cause instability. Authorities advise parents to caution their children against involvement in disruptive activities and called for prayer for the state, nation, and recent disease athletes returning from the National Sports Festival. Let's take a brief commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't change the channel.
In today's digital age, staying ahead of the curve is crucial for success. Turabo Business School is committed to empowering the next generation of leaders with the skills they need to thrive. We present you our special computer training exclusively designed for SS3 and JSS3 graduates. Our comprehensive program covers a wide range of topics, including Microsoft Word, master the art of document creation and editing, unlock the power of data analysis and visualization, Microsoft Access, learn to manage and analyze database, Microsoft PowerPoint, create stunning presentations that captivate audiences, graphic design using CorelDRAW, unleash your creativity and design skills, Photoshop, enhance your image editing skills and create stunning visuals, programming using web design, build dynamic websites and web applications, database development, learn to design and manage databases, UI/UX design, create user-friendly and intuitive interfaces. At the Turabo Business School, we believe in creating world-class entrepreneurs and professionals. Our experienced instructors will guide you every step of the way, providing you with hands-on training and mentorship. Don't miss this opportunity to gain a competitive edge. Contact us today to learn more about our program and register for the next session. Call 080-6026-9140, 070-6342-8464, or 090-1010-8844 between 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. Turabo Business School, creating world-class entrepreneurs and professionals. Join us today and unlock your full potential. Taraba Business School, opposite Civil Service Commission, Hamarua Way, Jalingo, Taraba State. Empower yourself with the skills of the future. Register now. In today's digital age, staying ahead of the curve is crucial for success. Taraba Business School.
Welcome back. Coming up next, UNICEF has raised concern over the poor state of child welfare in Nigerian Northeast, revealing that 72% of primary schools graduates in Borno, Yobe, and Adamawa cannot read. With 2 million children out of schools at low birth registration rates, many lack access to essential services. Despite these challenges, UNICEF commended recent government efforts in child protection and nutrition. In 2024, the agency treated nearly 600,000 malnourished children and vaccinated over 1 million. UNICEF reaffirmed its commitment to supporting vulnerable children in the state. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo stated that disinformation significantly influenced the Nigerian Civil War and remains a tactic used by insurgents today. Speaking at a symposium by the Army War College Nigeria, he emphasized the need to study military history for national development. The event highlighted the importance of media in conflict resolution, with military leaders reaffirming their commitment to strategic leadership and historical learning. Geniet Pharmaceutical Limited has launched a 1 billion naira health competition to involve Nigerian students in the fight against malaria. The initiative, announced in Abuja, is in collaboration with CEO Africa and supported by the National Association of University Students, the National Association of Polytechnic Students, and the National Association of Nigerian College of Education Students. The program will engage students in malaria research, health education, advocacy, and community outreach. It offers 400 billion naira in cash prize and 600 million naira in gifts and resources. The students' leaders welcomed the initiative, calling it a historic step towards youth-led health innovation, while urging the government to increase its effort in combating malaria. Enugu State Governor Peter Mba has proposed a bill to regulate spiritual practices and combat ritual crimes, kidnapping, and forest-based criminal activities. The bill mandated registration for spiritual, bans money ritual, and protective charms, and imposed strict penalties, including up to 20 years imprisonment for ritual killings and enabling criminal hideouts. It also requires landlords and hotels to collect and report guest information and install surveillance system. Tunde Bakare, serving overseer of the Cathedral Global Community Church, visited President Bola Tinubu in Lagos. 2 young men, Samuel Marcus and Autore, was shot dead near the Abakare railway station in Delta State in a suspected reprisal attack. The killings occurred hours after security forces killed 4 suspected Fulani kidnappers, an incident that has unsettled the local communities. Marcus and Autore were ambushed while driving through a known high-risk area with a history of criminal attacks. The vehicle was found riddled and with bullets, with Marcus dying at the scene and Amature confirmed dead later. Military personnel have secured the area to prevent further violence as investigations continued amid rising tensions in the community. The Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy commissioned a digital industrial park in Abeokuta to support Nigeria's $1 trillion digital economic goals. The facility offers training, innovation, and entrepreneurship resources aiming to empower youth and drive economic growth. Abeokuta was selected for its strong academic presence. The project marked a significant step in advancing ICT innovations and digital development in Nigeria. That's all for this edition on News Hour from Som TV. You can follow us on Facebook at Som TV and on YouTube at Som TV Live. Now stay tuned for more lineup of programs from Som TV. I am Esther Oka Steven. Thanks for watching.